Hello everyone, welcome back to my next video. I'm in a different space right now. That'll probably happen quite frequently because I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to set up and have it be permanent. So the background will change a lot. Well, change the scenery. So basically throughout my YouTube channel, what I want to do is tell my story through addiction, using substances, mental health, depression, anxiety, all of that I went through for my entire life. So what I'm going to kind of do is a timeline thing. I'll start from a young age and I'll expand up to now. So here we go. I don't have anything written down to talk about. I'm just talking from the heart because that's really what I wanted this YouTube channel to be. Something from the heart, honesty, and yeah. So here we go. So I would say I was about 4 or 5 years old when I started experiencing anxiety. Now, I never realized that this was anxiety. I didn't know what the heck it was. I just knew that I didn't feel good and I didn't feel like the rest of the kids. I knew I was different from the rest of those kids. I knew I had a different point of view on life, on the world. I knew that I didn't feel normal. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel connected to the rest of the kids my age. I felt actually much older than everybody. I always have felt that way, that I've always felt much older than, my peers. And people have told me that also. So, first day of kindergarten, I hide under the table and I decide I am not coming out until my mom gets there. And I went through many of these experiences up until honestly an embarrassing age. It was probably like 5th grade until my mom stopped walking me into the school every morning. Like, I'm serious, you guys, my teachers would have to rip me off of her because I was terrified. I was terrified to be in this group of people that I didn't know. I didn't want to get to know. And just had no interest in at all. And so my mom would walk me in every morning. I would beg her, cry to her. Sometimes she would have to call the ladies in the office to come get me because she liked to, bring me to school in her pajamas. And she was like, I am not getting out my pajamas. But I'm sure there were a few times where she had to go in her pajamas. But yeah, every morning the teachers, it would take them half an hour to, pull me apart from them. And, me nor my mom or my dad or anyone around me, teachers, no one ever said anything about anxiety, mental health. It was constructed to be behavior issues, and that's not what it was. But, we're talking 20 years ago, and mental health was not talked about the way it is now. So they didn't have a clue what was going on with me. So fast forward to about 7 years old, maybe 8. I remember in class, one of my classmates had thrown up. And this was a huge deal for me. I could not handle it. I don't know if I was grossed out, but I'm realizing now that these little feelings I had was panic attack. When someone would throw up, I had such a phobia of it that I would start to feel dizzy. I would feel weak. It was horrible. I would go numb. And I would start to think to myself, I don't feel right. I don't feel like a person right now. I know that phrase makes absolutely no sense, but I will use it a lot. And hopefully you guys will know what I mean. But I didn't feel right at all. And every single time someone would vomit, this would happen. And I couldn't be around it. I couldn't be around the person. And that person that would vomit from then on done. Couldn't talk to them. I would think I could smell the vomit on their breath 2 months later. I would think they're going to do it again. I would worry about that. And it's like, I should be worrying about, learning how to do multiplication and division and reading and all this stuff. But no, I'm 7 years old and I'm worried about my classmates possibly vomiting and how that was going to affect me. And that was crazy feeling. Like, I don't get that anymore, but I got that to a really, probably, in my teenage years. And I finally was able to let go of that once I was knowing that that was anxiety. Once I learned it was anxiety, I was able to deal with it. But yeah, that was a crazy experience. So that was 7 years old. I want to fast forward up to about 12. So I was probably in 6th, 7th grade, however old you are around then, or whatever grade you are around then. And this is when the depression hit, and it hit hard. I mean, I was lagging. I was not, again, I knew that I was different from everyone else, and I felt so off, and I couldn't handle these feelings anymore. Couldn't handle my feelings. I think my parents started to notice a big change. I was sleeping all the time. I just wanted to be in my bed. I wanted to be in my room. That was my safe place, and it still is, and I'm quite a lot like that still to this day. But that was my biggest sign of depression. And then suicidal thoughts hit. And that's when I think I expressed to my mom, I don't feel right. I'm trying to express these feelings to her, which was so difficult for me. I remember, laying in my bed, like grappling with the situation and trying to figure it out on my own because I didn't want to go to my mom. I didn't want my parents to think that it was their fault, or that something they did was making me unhappy, or I was unhappy with the amazing life that they were providing for me. I was so worried about their feelings. And again, I was 12 years old. That is so young to honestly not be just thinking about yourself, but to be thinking and expanding your brain to your parents and how they're gonna feel if that's crazy. Do 12-year-olds think like that? Do your guys' 12-year-olds think like that? I don't know, maybe some do, but I don't think that's normal. But I did end up telling my mom, which was the best decision. She got me into a psychiatrist, and that's where I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, which was scary for me. I didn't know how to handle it. I thought that I was a different person now. That diagnosis solidified that I wasn't normal, that I wasn't like those kids. And, so what the psychiatrist did, and she decided that I also had ADHD, so she put me on a cocktail. So the first substance, narcotic, addictive substance that ever entered my body was Ritalin. And she also put me on an antidepressant. So I remember the first day I took Ritalin, my mom was like, okay, so this is supposed to help you focus when you do your homework, da 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 da. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I need this. Like, I don't focus at all. Like, let's try this. And so my mom gave me that, and I remember doing my homework, and I was glued to that page. I got that math worksheet done. I got that English book done in 45 minutes. Homework was done. I was like, this is beautiful. This pill is freaking magic. Give me a pill for any other problem I got. And that is the mental note that I stayed on for about 10 years. Is give me a pill if it'll fix it. That's what I want, a pill, the easy freaking way out. And still sometimes I want to lean towards that. A year later of sobriety, you still feel that way. It doesn't go away like that. It's a heck of a lot easier, I can tell you that, but it doesn't go away. So that was like the takeoff right there. But I didn't realize it, obviously. I didn't realize this is a narcotic drug. I like it. I'm an addict now. No. a couple years go by, and I remember going to the dentist, and the dentist prescribing me Norcos, hydrocodone. And that's when I knew that these pills, they make you feel good. That's what that pill was doing to me. That's what that Ritalin did to me. That was speeding me up. That was making me do good. Do pills do that? I took those Norcos. I remember I was done with my toothache, and I remember sneaking down into the kitchen and going in the medicine cabinet and finding it and taking one. And 20 minutes later, I experienced absolute euphoria. I was like, this is life. This is heaven. Boom, I have these magic freaking pills in this container right now. And I can feel good and feel like this every day. That was the best day of my life. And that's sad that the best, happiest, no, it wasn't. Now that I'm sober, definitely not. But in my active years, I looked back at that being the best day of my life the moment I felt those Norcos kick in. So that's a little bit about the beginning of how things started for me. As I continue on, I'm just gonna wrap up right there because we're already at, almost 12 minutes, and I don't know if you guys are gonna be bored of watching this. I have no idea. So I'm just going to say that this is the timeline from, kindergarten to high school, beginning of high school. The next video is going to be about my high school years. And oh boy, are those juicy. That's where it really gets going. But also that's something that teenagers out there that you guys can learn from. When you hear about that, I hope you guys learn from me, and I hope you go down the opposite path. That's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing this. If I can help just one person watching these videos, that means the world to me. That's what I'm here for. Another thing is, if anybody has any questions, I am absolutely more than welcome to take questions and maybe do a Q&A video later, or however, if they're more personal questions, I can get back to you, one-on-one, but maybe I'll do a Q&A video. Just put them in the comments, send them to me, however you want to get them to me, that's fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a free talk, no edit. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. That's just the beginning of this wild roller coaster of my life. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.